everyone, I'm Ryan Gao, and today my topic is why we hide who we are. As digital communication expands, identity has become increasingly visible. Social media platforms allows others to observe our affiliations and opinions almost instantly. While this visibility can foster connection, it also increases exposure to the judgment. Surveys from the Pew Research Center report that a majority of teenagers have experienced online harassment or public criticism. In environments where evaluation is constant, self-presentation becomes strategic rather than authentic. This raises an important question. Why do individuals conceal aspects of their identity, even when modern social media claims to celebrate individuality? Psychological research suggests that hiding one's identity is not simply insecurity. It is often a protective response. Social psychologists describe a phenomenon called impression management, a concept introduced by sociologist Irving Goffman. According to this theory, individuals regulate how they appear to others in order to maintain their social acceptance. When the perceived cause of authenticity is rejection or ridicule, concealment becomes rational behavior. Another relevant framework is the social identity theory developed by Henry Tetchfield and John Turner. This theory explains that individuals derive part of their self-worth from belonging to groups. When personal traits or interests threaten group belonging, individuals may suppress those traits to preserve social inclusion. Research consistently shows that social exclusion activates the same neural pathways associated with physical pain. In other words, rejection is not merely uncomfortable. It is neurologically distressing. Historical examples illustrate this dynamic beyond modern social media. The Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh produced work that diverged sharply from the prevailing artistic norms. His textured brushstrokes and bold color choices were criticized during his lifetime. Although his legacy is now celebrated, contemporary rejection contributed to his isolation. While Van Gogh's circumstances were complex, his experience reflects a broader pattern. Society often resists deviation from the established standards. Current research also supports this pattern. Studies in developmental psychology shows that adolescents are particularly sensitive to peer evaluation because their prefrontal cortex responsible for long-term decision-making is still developing. At the same time, the reward systems linked to social approval are highly active. This neurological imbalance increases conformity during adolescence, even among individuals who privately disagree with group norms. Therefore, hiding our identity is not simply a lack of courage. It can be understood as an adaptive response to the perceived social risk. However, research consistently indicates that chronic self-concealment carries consequences. Long-term suppression of identity has been associated with reduced life satisfaction and weaker interpersonal bonds. Authentic self-expression, when met with supportive environments, correlates with greater psychological well-being. And this creates a central tension. If concealment protects us from rejection, but authenticity supports long-term well-being, how should individuals navigate environments that are simultaneously connected and critical? People often hide parts of themselves, not because they are dishonest, but because they're trying to protect their place in a group. In short term, that strategy can make life easier. It helps them to blend in and avoid conflict. But when a person is always editing themselves to stay acceptable, they may remain included, but are never truly known. We hide ourselves because we are afraid of standing out. We hide because we are feared that we will not fit into the mold. And no one understands this better than the iconic Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. In 1925, she suffered a horrific bus accident that left her crippled in body. Yet during that time, society held a strict stereotype of women. They were expected to be perfect delicate, and silent. They were expected to hide their suffering and present a cheerful, flawless image to the world. Frida's body, her art, and her identity defied all of that. She didn't have the perfect body that the world adored. She was angry and vulnerable, often in the ways that made people uncomfortable. The world judged her harshly. People dismissed her work, called her bizarre, and expected her to hide her sufferings behind a mask of polite normalcy. This is exactly why we hide. We hide because we are afraid that we will receive the same kind of criticism. We hide our quirks, our truths, and our identity because we are fearing standing out and not fitting to the mold. How should we navigate environments that are both connected and critical? Not by hiding everything from everyone, and not by revealing everything to everyone. The healthier path is actually more selective. It means being honest in places that have earned that honesty and resisting the pressure to reshape yourself entirely for the approval. Authenticity does not have to be immediate or absolute to be real. In the end, despite of having places where support is available, showing ourselves completely in that situation is still undoubtedly challenging. It requires great bravery and determination. On the other hand, constantly hiding who you are cannot truly make you happy or give you a sense of belonging. As a result, you will always receive my support in encouraging you to stand out and show yourself bravely. Thank you for listening.